Hey everybody, this is AJ again. Welcome back to the side panel. Yes, it may appear that I look alike and that all these are taken on the same day, but I promise you, I have showered since then. It is a different day. Um, I am have changed clothes. Anyway, uh, I'm here again. This is the side panel you were watching, and I'm here again to do another unboxing video. That's right. I am addicted. I told you guys before, I have gotten in another shipment of Blokees. This is Transformers Galaxy version 2. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to open this up, and I'm going to show you the initial box, and I'm going to open the box, and then I'm going to unbox one figure, and then I'll take a break, and then I'll come back when I'm done unboxing all the other figures, and I'll be on the last figure so you guys can see that. And then you can see what all the figures look like in total. So that way you know what you're getting out of the box. I don't know if I'm getting the chase or not, but I hope I am. Here's crossing the fingers. So without further ado, let's get started on Blokees Transformers Galaxy version S02. Shall we? How has everybody been doing since last we spoke? Huh? Well, there's nobody here to talk to, so I guess not. Yeah, okay. I was thinking about doing a live. Sorry if I paused, but I was thinking about doing a live with it, but I decided not to. I don't want to talk to anybody. At least I don't want to get distracted while doing this. So I'm just going to go ahead and do this in front of you guys and let you guys watch instead of doing the live stream. And here we go. So initially, right off the bat, you can see the box. Yeah, when I say I got a box of Blokees, guys, I mean I got like the entire shipment box. This is what your normal retailer would purchase to sell individuals out of at the store. When we had the store, the Crooked Smile Collectibles out of Redlands, we would buy these and sell them out individually. But not anymore. These are mine. I want all of these. These are all mine now. Now that I'm addicted, this is officially my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 set. So that should tell you how addictive I've gotten to these things. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and cut the plastic. And for the record, aside from having chatted with my wife, this is probably the most talkative I've been all week. It is currently, I think it's the first week of February. We just got through all 900 days of January 2025. And now just broke into January. This is the first week and of 2025. The weather has been cold because it's winter. Surprisingly, in SoCal, it has been colder than usual. Where I'm at, it is annoying because I'm at the base of a mountain. And so I get the combination of both the mountain weather as well as the desert weather. Because in California, everywhere's a desert except for the mountain, and even the mountain is still kind of desert. So, or at least SoCal. So yeah, so you get the super heat in the summer and confusing cold in the winter. down where I'm at anyway. So let's go ahead. We got the box open. Let's pop open our first one. I traditionally get the and this is weird. Okay, I'll tell you. I'll be honest with you. I used to smoke cigarettes, right? And the first one I would get out of the carton was this one here, out of the pack. I mean, was always this guy here. I don't know why. It just has been. It's been like that. I think it's an army thing. Um, you know, but even then, you step with the left first, so that's not even right. So who knows why I take this one? I just think is maybe it's just years of being put in that slot from being the shortest. I don't know, but we'll find out. Well, we won't find that out anyway. I'm babbling. Here we go, guys. Galaxy version 02. Now, this version was their second one that came out. And, ooh, the Grimlock is the chase here if it comes with the flaming mouth, the fire option that you can see there. So, looks like more Constructicons in here. Mixmaster Long Haul. We got Grimlock. We're going to have Cliff Jumper, Grapple, Inferno, and, of course, Omega Prime. Not Omega Prime. Is it Omega Prime? Delta Prime. Yeah, Delta Prime. That's one of my favorites. So, let's go ahead and see what's in this box, shall we? Let's crack it open. Strangers in my thighs, exchanging fluids, wondering why they became druids. Okay, so well, if you've watched other videos, you know I'm kind of weird. I don't know if I went through my process or not, but I will take you through it now. I am meticulous with some stuff. I don't know why. Okay, I can't give you a background reason. Maybe it's military. Maybe it's having a military father. Both I had, my father and my stepfather. They were both Air Force. I don't know what it is, man. I don't know. All I know is I like things organized and in their place. So when I get these, I put them in order. So I take an empty box and I fold it back like this, like so. And now this box will be where I put all the empty bags. I know I'm weird. So we have our instructions. Let's see if it gives us a clue as to what we have in here. Any instruction? Any clue? No clue. They seem fairly generic. So let's go ahead and get started, shall we? Boxing. I'm going to go ahead and lower the phone so you guys can be on the level. Trash. Already got the stand. Got the hands. You got the joints. Oh, I don't like these joints. These joints you have to push together. There's nothing wrong with them per se. They work great. In the later boxes that come out, 5 and I'm hoping maybe 6, these joints are already pushed together, so you don't have to worry about them yourself. But in the earlier versions, you have to do it yourself. So it's kind of a little hard on the fingertips. Whatever, it's just something we need to get over. But personally, I'm not a fan of them. I'll get over it. They're okay, like, the first 3 or 4 Blokees, but you get into like 6 and you're like, oh, ow. You're super tender. You don't want to touch me no more. So let's see who we got today, shall we? Too bad this isn't a live, because then I can offer options as to who it will be. Uh-oh. Ooh. Yeah, there you go. Looks like we have grapple. I'm sure that's very loud to you guys. So there he is. That's grapple. Comes with our little card there. And on the back, you want to scan the QR code yourself. There is that for you to do so. All right, so I'm going to keep this around so you guys can see me working on this. All right, here we go. What I like to do is I'll arrange them by color first. Then that tells you kind of what goes where. There will always be an extra one of these guys here. Those are the ball joints. So 2 for the feet, 1 for the neck, and then there's always an extra. Okay, so we have the hook, and we have his gun, so we put that to the side there. Grapple there, and that looks like his face. Alright, so torso, shoulder, feet. Because I've done so many of these, I can just identify the parts from sight. And the legs. Hear the snap? That's what I like. And boom. Now it's obvious these go together. I'm going to tell you why. Because you got this here, and you have this piece here, and these are the only 2 pieces that can click. So, see? That's why I've made that obvious choice. I'm going to go ahead and kill the background TV so you guys aren't watching my stuff. So, that's going to go here, here, these go there. These are thighs, right? Let me double check. And you can come up to the instructions, and the instructions are always generally generic. You know, they give you this one body. It tells you everything that I just told you, how to put everything together generically. It's specific on a few parts because of the extra things that come with some of these figures. So, for example, Grapple, who's up here, will show you that that's how that connects. See? So, we know that from the picture of Grapple, he has, yep, so he has these, then he has these, then he has his waist, okay, I can pop his waist together like that. Okay, I can already feel the cramp in my fingers. So, then these will go there. These are his wrist bracers. Here's his head, and his back, and his torso. Alright, now let's separate his hands. There. Now you guys get to see what I'm talking about when it comes to the ball joints here. Or not the ball joints, but the parts that you have to piece together. So you got these 2 guys, and it go together like this, and boom. And like I said, it's not that difficult. It's pretty easy. It's just hard on the hands after a minute. You know what I mean? So that guy goes there. So you can see. And where you go? There. That's going to go in there like so. And then you pop the ball joint into his foot. You heard those pops? That was it locking in place. That's what we want. Now we have feet. And there we go. All right. Now this joint is now his knee joint. So it slides like that in there. That goes there, and then it'll pop. See? Now we got to put together another knee joint, and I got to pop my knuckle. And as I stated before, it's not hard, it's just a pain, especially when you have psoriatic arthritis like I do. However, I love these things, and I need to work out the scar tissue in my wrist and hands. So I have to do these things sometimes. And boom, there's one. Now I'm going to pop up the other side. Normally I have some Fever Dog playing in the background, but I was on the computer working earlier, so I just decided to hop over here and do this. I was going to watch some TV, but then I don't want to get hit with a copyright fine. So I canceled that idea, and now you guys get to hear me breathing heavy while I'm doing this. So there you go. You get a little OnlyFans action at the same time as you get some Transformers action. This is his inner torso. I call it like his sternum. And pop these guys here. Just like that. And you heard it pop. You're my witnesses. Alright, so we got these here. Okay. This goes. Now, sometimes, because my stupid hands, I can't get this as tight as I need to. So I pull out the old Transformer Safe plastic pliers. You see these tips here? These make it safe to cramp onto plastic parts without scarring or damaging them. They're really helpful with Transformers and Legos. Boom. I recommend them for anybody in the business, in the hobby business, you know. Because you get times where a spudger just won't get in there, or it just doesn't have the strength to. And these pliers, man, they will save your figure's life. I promise you. Alright guys, so we're just following the groove pattern here. So if you see inside there, see that groove right in there? See these notches here? That's where they're going to slide to. And that's right, until they pop. Just like that. And you have his arm. Boom. Just like that. Now, I don't put his arm on early. I'm going to finish the other hand first. and then I'll do his torso. So let's get going with that, shall we? Do 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 do. Let's talk TV shows, shall we? What are you guys watching nowadays? I recently just got into a show called School Spirit. Yes, it is kind of a teenage show. Thanks for asking. But I really am enjoying it. It has like two of the major stars from Two of the major stars from Cobra Kai and Mary Mauser and Peyton List. And Peyton List is a teenage girl that is suddenly wakes up one day and she's a ghost. And she's trying to figure out why she's a ghost and how it happened. And so she has to accept it turns out, well, guess what? She's not the only ghost in the business, in town, in school. And school is where she happens to be trapped at. Her spirit is trapped at school. So they're all just trying to figure out what happened to her, find her body, etc., etc. And it just gets interesting from there. It's a very cool show. I enjoy it very, very much. And I'm already on... I binged through the first season really fast, and now I'm on season 2, which just started. And I'm very unhappy with it because I was trying not to get another weekly show and didn't realize that this show was not over. That it was still ongoing. And so, yeah, now I have to watch it all the way. And not happy about that. So, but I do enjoy the show and I cannot recommend it enough. So if you are one of those people that likes to enjoy shows on a weekly basis, and I can tell you honestly that School Spirits is a cool show. It is on, I believe it's Paramount Plus right now. So if you get a chance, check it out. If you don't, I don't care. But that's what I'm watching. And we are almost done here, guys. Check it out. And I'll form the head. And boom. Wait. And I put him here. And he has his little gun and his little rocket. And then we put him on here. And ladies and gentlemen, yes, no, maybe. There you go. There you go, everyone. Grapple by Blokees. Doesn't normally take this long, going a little slow because I had to explain everything. I show off all the individual parts and stuff. But, yeah, there you have it. So I'm going to go ahead and take a quick break. And while I do that, I will be assembling the other 8 boxes that I have here, or 7, and then I'll come back on the 8th box to show you how far I've gotten and what the last box is and what other blocky figures I've gotten during the pause. So I'll see you guys soon.
I'm horror and comedy author Rick Gualtieri, and when you're not assaulting your eyeballs with my books, you should definitely be making sweet love to your ear holes by listening to the Forbidden Panel podcast.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back. I wish I had a wig or something. I would wear it and be like, here I am. 17 hours later. But it has been a few hours since I left you guys, and now I'm back. I am on the last figure. Unfortunately, I didn't get the chase. I'm very sad about that, but let me show you what I did get. Ta-da! So, this Grimlock is very awesome. Starscream, IDW Prime, or as I call him, Delta Prime. And Cliff Jumper, yay! So those are the ones that I've worked on in our absence. I am working on the last one now, and that one is Long Haul. One of the cool things was I'd gotten, while working on Delta Prime here, is one of his hands came with the pointy finger, which I think is awesome. So he can be like, you, yeah. And then they can do the whole, the Spider-Man thing. That would be awesome. So, here we are. It's another glorious, wonderful evening. Popping out more joints. Isn't this exciting? Watching people model together Blokees. Ooh. Watching fingers dance. Right. Must be really annoying. I apologize. And now I lost a part. There you are. Do-do. Do-do-do-do-do. While we were gone, I got to watch ROH. I'm a big wrestling fan. I've been watching wrestling since I was a kid. Helped me get through those random days. I remember growing up, when I was a kid, I had this waterbed. I don't know why I had a waterbed. My parents just decided one day to buy me a waterbed, and I ended up with a waterbed. I wasn't a big fan of the waterbed. I think I may have relayed this story at some point. It was not comfortable. There was a time where I had broken my collarbone skateboarding in LA, and when after I'd gotten out of the hospital, after having it set, and I'd come home and I laid in bed, in the waterbed, right, the next morning, I tried to get up and I couldn't. I was in too much excruciating pain trying to sit up from the waterbed. I just couldn't do it. My parents were already gone for the day, had gone to work. So I basically had to just slide out of the water the whole time, like just in tears, trying to pick myself up. Anyway, I'm veering from the point here. The waterbed was so big that there wasn't really much room for anything else in my room. I had, in the middle of the room was like the waterbed, and then on the side, we had here, I had bookshelves here, and over here was my desk, and right here was a little 2-drawer dresser. And on that 2-drawer dresser was a really big, I think it was like a 21-inch box TV. And at the end of the waterbed, I used to sit there all the time. Sit here at the end of the waterbed, and like my closet would be right here. That's how little room I had, and my door was right here. You just walk in and have to side settle, between my bed and stuff, everything there, because this waterbed was just annoyingly huge. Anyway, so I would sit here. Where's my there? At the end of the waterbed. On the waterbed, I would have my cards out playing solitaire. And on the TV, on the weekends, I was on TBS because TBS had 3 hours of not commercial free, but just 3 hours of wrestling Saturdays and Sundays. When you're stuck in the house in your own room, trying to get out of your own head, 3 hours of wrestling really helps. 3 hours of anything really helps, but wrestling would help. So I would sit there on the edge of the bed like that on the weekends and play solitaire. And that's how I got really good at doing card tricks and stuff like that. Just sitting there and doing that. And, I would do a lot of different things there. Eventually, sitting at that end of the bed, the cards turned into an NES. And, we ended up, we would play with the NES there. And my sisters would come in and we'd just game all the time. Whenever we could, whenever we weren't in trouble. I was always the one getting in trouble. And so, yeah, that was what it was like. So sitting here doing these with the background noise reminded me of that time because, a lot of times, just a similar situation. I just click out mentally and do this and have background noise. And so that is why I enjoy these. And it's not just these types of things, but also why I collect Transformers and stuff like that, because I live in my head a lot. And sometimes you don't want to. Sometimes it's better not to live in your head. And in order to do that, or to work through the crap that's going through your head, you need to organize your thoughts. In order to organize your thoughts, you got to organize the world that you live in. And the easiest thing to do is to minimize the size of your world. For me, anyway. So what I do is minimize my world by making everything on this table important right now. And in doing that, I can clear my mind or organize my thoughts or what have you. During these times, it's when I've come up with some of my better ideas. Forbidden Panel, ZKS, examples. A lot of other ideas. See, my hands have now gotten to the point where I have to use the pliers to do this. But anyway, this is one of my meditation tricks, is doing this. Normally I would have something in the background, but as I said previously, I don't want to have all that noise in the back, and I don't want to get hit with any type of random copyright issues. So here we are. We need thighs and knee bones for the thighs. Connected to the thigh bone. Now, what's been on my mind lately, you might ask, that I have to deal with this? Well, aside from it being 2025 and the world being what it is, regardless of what side of the fence you are on, it is kind of conflicting for all of us. Everybody is in everybody's face, and everybody's arguing about something. One way or another, we are finding ways to disagree about something. And so I am doing my best to not. I don't want to get involved in that stuff. I don't like any of that. Anything that causes us to separate even more, in my heart, I'm truly not a fan of. I am a big fan of unity and equality, everybody getting along, because I believe in... I don't know what I believe in, honestly. But I tell you what, the Star Trek way of life is indeed enticing. getting rid of financial need and just, living, just being there and just trying to survive for the betterment of man sounds like a cool idea. But that's just me. What do I know? There's no money in that, and I can't even do a business. So there you go. On top of that, if everything was free and was, would I be able to get new Transformers? I mean, I'm asking for a friend here. And my friend's name is AJ, and he collects Transformers. Do. But anyway, staying off of that topic. Where's your Mega Man? Where did you go? Is this it? Yeah, that's you. You sexy bastard, you. Alright, and here we go. The Constructicons, in my opinion, are awesome. They are one of my favorite combiners, and I admit maybe it's because it's the first combiner we saw when Transformers first came out with them. I forgot his little socket things here. That's why I had to take it apart. But regardless of that reason, of whatever the reason is, he's my favorite. And so whenever I see versions of him out there, I try to, different versions, I try to pick him up or what have you. But I'm always looking for that one version. And so far, the best version of Devastator I ever saw or handled was the Jin Bao Devastator. It was huge. It was pretty. It was awesome. Okay. So you go like that. Unfortunately, when we hit bad financial times, I had to sell it, and I no longer own it. Hopefully one day I'll be able to afford to get it back. Until then, I just have the G1 version and the Blokees version. Yay, Blokees. I ain't got no arms. I have no arms. Alright, now we need fisticuffs. You always want to make sure the hole here is on the back fist. So that, see, that means I put it on wrong. I want the hole on the back fist because in case any of the attachments or weapons such as this or anything like that attaches to it. So and snap. Anyway, I like ROH wrestling. They're doing okay. If you haven't watched ROH yet, I would go check it out. If you're a wrestling fan, that is. Sure, you got the big WWE-ness that's out there. And I catch WWE every now and then. I grew out of them a while ago because they were just... it was the same reason I got out of a lot of the Marvel comic book stuff. Because everything was just a repeating storyline one way or another. You know? I think I've said this before, but how many times is Doc Ock and Spider-Man going to fight? Or how many different iterations of Doc Ock and Spider-Man are going to fight? Or Doc Ock and the Rhino, Spider-Man and the Rhino, like, just pick your combinations, you know what I mean? And it's like that with all the major comic books nowadays. It's just a repetitive nature. So, and we as fans, we suck onto it because we don't want to see our favorite characters die, and the big houses don't want to kill off your favorite character in fear of losing you as a reader. So, Unfortunately, because of that, I stopped watching, or I stopped reading those comic books because, well, it just wasn't all that much fun for me anymore. It was old and repetitive. I am going to get rid of one of his hands and replace it with this Walter. And put him here. And there you go, everybody. That's right. Blokees Transformers Galaxy version 2 SOS. The entire line right there. Look at him. All those energons. Entire line. Thanks everybody for checking it out. I'm sorry it took so long. Yeah, I'm just getting a little more older than I was last time. I'll be older at the next time. Thank you everybody for tuning in, and we'll catch you on the next episode.